I wanted to do a tutorial on screen capturing because I faced a lot of issues with it before I started. Because as helpful as the YouTube tutorials are, they actually skip on a couple of crucial steps, which is important in order to achieve what we are trying to. So I'm going to take you through those as well, hopefully avoiding the anxious experience for you, which I had to face. Anyways, so Open Broadcasting Streaming Studio or OBS Studio is free to download from the internet, and once you download and install and open the application on your computer, this is what comes up. This is what the interface looks like. In your instance, this area is going to be showing a black screen, and if you try to start and stop record anything, it will record only the things you're saying. It will not show things that you're doing on your computer screen as you speak. And I learned it the hard way. So I will take you through how to solve this problem. So how you can see your computer window or whatever you're doing in your computer screen display over here. So one of the first things that you have to do is you just go to your desktop, keep the OBS interface open, right click, and go to the control panel of your graphics card. In my instance, this is the NVIDIA control panel. Give it a few seconds to open because graphics applications are usually not super fast, no matter how powerful your computer is. Once this opens, go to the Manage 3D Settings and go to Program Settings. So that's the second option. And because I have already followed these steps before, as you will see, the OBS Studio is already showing here. But in your instance, you just come here, select OBS Studio wherever it is on your drop-down menu, and in number 2, select the preferred graphics processor for this program. Click the drop-down menu, and by default, it's probably use global setting. That's the one that's selected, but make sure you pick integrated graphics. And this is going to enable you to have your window displayed on the interface of OBS. Click on apply. Give it a few seconds to update and just close it. So now, you're able to record your screen while you talk, you have to select a specific source. So in order to do that, hit on the add button under sources and select display capture. So this is exactly what is going to enable you to record your screen. Just give it any name you desire. And under display, there's a drop-down menu, and it will show, depending on the number of screens you have attached to your computer, connected to your computer, over here. However, since I'm using my laptop, it's just going to show this one screen. Make sure you click on Capture Cursor if you want your cursor to be displayed within the video as well, which is, I think, is crucial for screen recording when you're trying to record tutorials and things like that. And then you click on OK. The audio mixer is basically a sound monitor for your microphone and desktop audio. I've left it to full, so because I'm not using a microphone hardware, I want to make sure my computer can hear me perfectly. Under scene transitions, there's some options. Cut, fade. I've left it at fade as default. The duration is the speed at which the transition occurs. It's usually at 300 ms. I've put it to 5000 ms because I was thinking it affects the duration of the videos that I'm producing, but that was a misconception. So you can just leave it to 300 so the transition is very smooth instead of 5000 like I have done. Under controls are the basic options for starting, stopping, recording. Studio mode is something you can use if you are starting to get really good at this software. And in settings, there's a lot of things you can work with. So you can select the language of the program. You can select what the interface of the software looks like. They've got a few options. I'll just leave it to the default one. There's many other things that I have not changed. Under streaming, I've selected the service YouTube because I'm going to upload these videos to YouTube. And and there's several options you can choose from here. Under output, I have to select a recording path. So this determines where your recorded videos or streams are saved in the computer. So I have saved it in a specific folder called screen recordings in my desktop. And the recording format for YouTube, the most acceptable format is MP4. So that's the one I have selected. I selected FLV at first. However, the recording would just randomly stop at 30 seconds or 1 minute. And I would do like a 4 or 5 minute or a longer tutorial and realize only the first 30 seconds or the first minute of it was recorded. Hence, I changed it to MP4. And then again, this is the most appropriate format that will enable me to upload to YouTube. In audio, I left everything as default. It's just fine. I didn't want to change anything. In video, your base canvas resolution should be something close to the screen. I have selected 1920 by 1080 because that's what the resolution of my screen is as default. And the output, the scaled resolution, you should keep it something as close as possible to the base resolution that you select. And for the common FPS value, a lot of people select 30, but I have selected 60 because my computer performs at a reasonably high speed, but with 30 you can achieve faster videos as well. The hotkeys, something I would like to mention from my experience, be very careful what buttons or what hotkeys you assign for each of these features. For example, for pausing and unpausing recording, I used space and shift before. So the space bar and shift. And what I didn't realize was I actually use those buttons a lot when I'm doing other things in the video. But what it does at the same time is it's pausing and unpausing and hampering with my recording, completely ruining the flow of the video that I'm trying to achieve. So later I used F12 because that's the button I wouldn't be using when I'm doing the tutorials. So it's really about personal preference, but just make sure these buttons that you put for starting, stopping recording, or pausing and unpausing them, they're buttons that you actually don't use when you're showing other things in the video, or else it completely ruins what you're trying to achieve. Once you're happy with all the changes and modifications you've made, just click on apply and click OK. And now if you hit on start recording, or just use your hotkeys by minimizing this software, it will start recording. You can go to different softwares, do all kinds of things, and it's going to be recording it